Hello guys, a very warm welcome to my IT class. We are going through a series of C++ tutorials, and in that one we are going through classes and objects. This is a part 3 of classes and objects, in which we will be studying how to pass objects to member functions. You may be remembering this is an example from the last session where we created one object, say C1, and initialized it to some radius and computed the area. And in that session we discussed why we need to define member functions, because radius we had declared privately in order to implement encapsulation. Since R is not accessible outside the class, we need to come to class. So in order to come to class, we defined member functions. Through member functions we accessed R and we got the work done, like compute area. Now my requirement is what? I want another circle. I'll create another circle, say C2. I'll create another circle, say C2, and I want to compute the total area occupied by C1 and C2. Say this is C2. So the object is created now. You need to initialize it with some radius. Say C2 has some radius like 1.5. So C2's radius is initialized. Now one option for you is what? Create another variable, float a1, and call find area on C2. Say float a1 is equal to C2 dot find area, and then add a and a1. So that will give you total area. But I don't want this way. I don't want two calls to find area. I want single call to find area. So the find area should compute total area occupied by both the circles. So I want to pass C2 to find area. C1 is passed to find area. You know C1 dot find area, when you say this R is of implicit object. This object we call this object, since we are passing or we are invoking it to call a function, we are using it to invoke a function, we call it as implicit object, because it is made available implicitly. Why? What is this R? This R is of which object? If I ask you, this R is of which object? This R is of which object? So when you call find area on C1 and say you have now come to this function here, so through C1 you have come. That's why whenever you refer R here, it is of C1. So C1 is there here implicitly. So that is the concept of this pointer. We will discuss later on. Right now take it for granted that whenever we say, when we don't use any object in the member function, then that state or that value will be of implicit object, say C1, who has invoked it. So similar case here in C1 dot init, in init also, when you come here, this R is of which object? So this is a C1 object, C1. So in C1's R, and similarly you have another object, say C2, and this is of C2's R. So when you say C1 dot init, when you come here, this R is of which object? Now you are due to the call C1 dot init, that's why it is of C1. So C1's R is initialized to 2.5, and this is C2 dot init. So this R is of which object? This is of C2's R. So this is how the object used to call a member function is available implicitly, and hence that object is called implicit object. Okay, that is clear to you now. Now another object I need to pass to this find area. So for that, what I have to do, I have to pass it as a parameter. Say this is what I will be doing now here. I will be passing it as parameter. You know how to pass parameters in functions, that I have demonstrated in function concept. Same way now C2 is an object, pass it as a parameter. You know, whenever we pass, we collect it in a container of the same type. Say, what is the container of C2? What is the type of C2? What is the type of C2? The type of C2 is circle. So that's why you need to collect it in a variable of type circle. Say circle C, circle CXI. Say this is another object I have created now. Now C2 is copied in CX, and now what you need to do, you have to access the radius of C2. You have to access the radius of C2 and compute here like this. Say this is your plus, again 3.142 into, now C2's radius is being copied. Now C2 is copied in CX, so CX dot R I say now. That CX dot R means what? It is of C2's R. So CX dot R. This is how the expression will come now. So this is a total area, and return A, that will come to again this A, and you will be, so this is called passing objects. Passing objects as parameters. This is what? This object we are passing now. So this is called as passing objects. Passing objects. So how you will pass object? Simply as a parameter. So when you pass this, you will be collecting in a variable of the same type. So you have passed it now. So passed it here, it is coming now. So you can say this way, it will be coming here in CX. So C2 is copied in CX. So there will be here another local object will be created, that is CX. This is a local object. There the R of C2. What is the R of C2? 1.5. That 1.5 will be copied in CX. So when you say CX dot R, this is 1.5, 1.5. This is how you will pass objects and collect the objects in variables of the same type. That is what the concept. So in a nutshell, now I tell you, if a member function needs n objects, say for performing some task, then one object is going implicitly, that is used to invoke. How many are left now? N minus 1 are left. N minus 1 are left. Those will go as parameters, and they are also called as explicit because we need to use an object to access them. Say this R we are accessing, this R we are accessing directly without any object. Why? Because it is of implicit object. And this CX dot R we are using object CS because it is of explicit object C2. C2 is being copied in CX, that's why you have to use CX. Now let's see one more example of the same kind, then the concept will be more clear to you. Now define a class called account with data as balance. Create two accounts and find max balance among the two. Now again here more than one object is involved. So how we'll deal? Again two objects are required. So n is 2 now. So 1 will go implicitly, n minus 1 will go as a parameter. So n minus 1, 2 minus 1, that is 1 will go as a parameter, as a explicit object. That we will see now. We will define here. This is the class account, you know how to define in it, and this is a find max we have. Since it is returning the maximum balance among the two, the return type is float. So let's define main for it now. We have two objects, account A1 comma A2, let's initialize a1 dot init 5000, e2 dot init 7000. Then you have initialized find the max now. So call to find max, you need to call find max float max balance is equal to. So find max, how you will call, since it is a member function, you need an object, say a1. So a1 is going implicitly and the left object, so another object will go as a parameter a2. So this is what we are passing objects to member function. Now you can say cout max balance is equal to, you can print this max. So that's all. Say this is the main. Since you are passing now, you have to collect in a variable of the same type. What is the type of a2? The type of a2 is account. So then that must be collected here in account. Say account, I'll take another object, say ax. Okay, fine. Now what is the story here? Now you have balance here. Now when you say balance, if I say balance, this balance is of which object? Can you tell me? This balance is of a1 or a2. This balance is of implicit object. Who is implicit here? Which object is used to call find max? A1 is used to call find max. So a1 is implicit. Then this, if I say simply bal without any object, that refers to implicit objects. That means implicit objects. So if balance is greater than the another object is a2. A2 I have collected in ax. I have passed. So when I pass, I collect in another variable of the same type. So ax. But since ax is explicit as a parameter, it is coming. Its state, its value must be accessed with the object name, say ax dot balance. So what I do now here, if balance is greater than ax dot balance, I say return balance. Return balance, I say. Else who is greatest? Ax dot balance. In case if this is false, then who is greatest? It is ax dot balance. So I say return ax dot balance. So this is how what I will be doing now. We will be accessing them with the help of explicit object. So who is explicit here? A2 is explicit. A2 is being copied in ax here. So ax is a local variable. Then that ax dot balance means it is explicit. This balance is of implicit object. Who is implicit here? Implicit is a1. A1 is implicit. This balance is of implicit object. This is how we pass objects. Say if you want to pass more than 2, you can pass, say you have a class called item. Say I say create 3 items and find average price. That time you need to create 3 items. Say there is a class called item i1 comma i2 comma i3. Then you have say i1 dot init, i2 dot init some price, i3 dot init some price you have. Then when you call average price, find average price, how the call will be? Float avg is equal to, you will invoke with object say i1. I1 is going implicitly and some method is say find. Then what you have to do? You have to pass the remaining objects as parameters. One is going, what is n now here? The number of objects is 3. N is 3 now. So n minus 1 will go as a parameter, 1 will go implicitly. So 1 is there here, n minus 1, 3 minus 1. The remaining 2 will go as a parameters, i2 comma i3. This is how the call will be there. Then here in the member function, you have to collect i2 and i3. Say item ix comma item iy. And when you compute average price, you will say price plus ix dot price plus iy dot price. So explicit objects states you will access with the object name, and implicit object directly will access without object name. So this is the story of passing objects. You can explore more like this. We'll have a short quiz and then we'll conclude the session. So an object used to call a member function is called, guess what it is? Yeah, you're right, it's an implicit object. And it is, why it is called implicit? Because it is available implicitly. Its states are accessed directly without object name. When a member function needs an object, how many are passed implicitly? Always implicit is 1, because we use only one object to call a member function. So implicit is always 1 here. And how many are passed as parameters? I have told you, if the member function needs n minus 1 are passed as parameters. The state of implicit objects are accessed. What you need an object there? You don't need to mention that object name is there implicitly. So directly you can access without object name. You don't need to mention, because implicitly that object is there. So the state of explicit objects are accessed using object name like ax.balance, cx.balance I have demonstrated. Hope you enjoyed the concept. With some more examples and some more concepts, we'll meet in the next video. Thanks for watching, and if you really like the session, share with your friends and do provide your feedback in comments. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.